Hi everyone, this is Liz from Creative Life of Liz, and I am here planning for the week of September 15th through the 21st. This is in my B&R Paper Crafts Plan B planner. For this week, I am also using a kit from B&R Paper Crafts called Self Care. This is a deluxe kit on matte vinyl. This is the first time I'm using this kit. You've seen me use recently if you've been watching my videos. I've been using a lot of these kits for the second time, but this is the first time on this one, so I have everything still here. So I have 9 full boxes here. I have bottom washi, date covers, some small box here, glittery boxes, not glittery boxes, a bunch of functional stuff, 4 more full boxes and a bunch of icons, more functionals, and then glitter headers, and even more full boxes. I do really like this particular format of the deluxe kit because I find it to be super functional. And I think it also works really well for using twice. So that's super nice. I'm going to pull out my Beauty 360 tweezers so that I can get everything set up. But I'm going to put in the bottom washi and the date covers. And then I'm going to put in the glitter headers. I think I'm going to skip the silver one and probably skip the boxes that are more white focused on the background. At least some of them, because I feel like they're a little less fall feeling than the ones that are more in the like tans kind of color scheme. So we'll see how that goes. I think I've been doing a lot of like full boxes through the center in the last couple of weeks. So I think my plan is going to be to scatter the full boxes. So that does make a little bit more work in the setup, but I think it's going to turn out fine. I do also need whichever page, this one that has the date dots. Okay, so I'm gonna do all the things and then I will be back so that we can do the interesting bits. Okay, here's where we are at with the pre-planning, and I definitely think that this gives off fall vibes with these colors, so that is great. Pulling out the full boxes, I've got all of these, so quite a few to choose from. So let me see what repeats. So the only thing that I see is an exact repeat is this one, matches the bottom washi. So I'm probably gonna skip it for these purposes. I also kind of want to skip all 4 of these because they're very like white focused. So I think I'm just gonna set those over there. I feel like they have more spring vibes than fall vibes. So therefore, I'm not gonna use them right now. So I think what I want to use, let's see. I feel like this one is like a pretty good, maybe like center one, as well as this one is a pretty good center one. So maybe I'll put those 2 together because it's somebody like, it's straight on facing kind of situation. So that's 2 that I feel like go together pretty well. And then I think perhaps maybe like these 2 go together because they're kind of like facing inward towards each other, and we get like a hand too, which I think could be a good fit to go together. I think these 2 go together. So that's 2, 4, 6. I need 2 more that go together. And ideally ones that would kind of like fit in on both sides, if that makes sense. I like it when things face into the page when possible. Although that's a little bit tricky with a lot of these. I think I might go with some of these. I mean, they're definitely from like the same photo shoot. So some of them are like the same girls. I think I might use these 2 as my last 2. I think those will go together pretty well. Okay. So that's what I'm going to go with. So now I need to start putting them into things. I think I want to use maybe this one as the box in the center. So Thursday's box. There we go. Oh, I even got the headers pretty straight. That was pretty good. Getting them straight is so hard for some reason. I even have lines, but still difficult. All right, and then I'm going to use this in the space formerly known as the quote box, since those two go together. And then I think maybe I want to do like this one there, which puts this one then on Friday. There's always a little extra space on the bottom boxes, but that's okay. And then I think I want to stick these two in next, maybe. There's one. And then here's the other one. There we go. And then, all right, I had my last two, which I picked as these two. I'm a little concerned about these two going together. So maybe I'll use these two. Or I could use the two brushes. I think I'm gonna use these two as my other two then. So I'm gonna stick one here. That is two in a row with the quote box that are kind of like facing forward, but I think that's all right. And then I'm gonna stick this one over here on Sunday, so she's like facing into the page. All right, that looks pretty cute. Definitely very cozy vibes, which I love. Moving on to the sidebar, I have this stuff, I have this stuff, I've got this stuff. I think those are the predominant things that I'm gonna need. And I might need a couple icons. Okay, starting out with the this week header. That seems obvious. Since, you know, it's the this week section. And then I think I'm gonna use both habit trackers. All right, so that's one, and then the other. I'm just putting them in this order because I feel like that better reflects kind of dividing up the colors. Into these, one of them is for socials, so I'm just gonna use a little Instagram guy, and then one of them I think is gonna be for the MK Fit challenge. I'm doing 30 videos in 30 days for MK Fit, so I'm gonna use that there. And then I've got a meals header. That comes next. And then the box to track said meals. All right, and then I think I want to stick this down at the bottom. So that gives me a little bit of space left. I'm going to stick this in alignment with the bottom washi. If I can get it. All right, close enough, I guess. So that's not quite wide enough for a box. Let's see. Okay, if I actually change my mind, I think I can take, I'll use maybe this box. There we go. Then line this up right after it. All right, that looks pretty good for the sidebar, I think. For the weekly boxes, I do like to use these skinny guys as my work labels. And I don't want them to match that header. That's like my main rule, because they are going right next to it. That is not like even remotely resembling being straight. Okay, maybe I'll put this one here, and then maybe this one here. Wow, getting them to be kind of even remotely sort of aligned is a lot of work. Okay, I've got one there, this dark brown. We'll figure out what's the other one when we get around to it. On Monday, I also have my plan with me going up. I think I'm gonna use like the little planner guy. That seems logical. So I'm gonna use this dark brown little label, and then I'm gonna use this little planner like so. Tuesday, I don't know what's happening, nor for Wednesday. Honestly, this week is pretty up in the air. I know I should have like curling registration at some point. Other than that, this page is now done. What do I want to go here? I feel like I want to use another one of these copper ones. I feel like they very much feel like September to me. Not aligned. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that close enough. Okay. Friday, I have another video going up. This one is gonna be my October kits, I believe. By the time you see this video, that one will already be up. So if you're interested, check out my channel. There we go. Use a little film reel. And then the weekend, I honestly don't know what's happening. We will just have to see how that goes. All right, so this is what we're gonna go with as the pre-planning right now. Pretty bare bones for sure, but I'm excited to see how it turns out. So stick around for just a second and you can see the finished spread. All right, here is my finished spread. I think it turned out pretty cute, and definitely I think with all these like neutrals and all these brown tones feels very fall for sure. I obviously have a ton left in this kit, unsurprisingly, given that this is a deluxe kit and it's my first time using it. I ended up actually not even using most of this stuff, which was surprising. And then I have these 2 pages here. This is the one page I did finish, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. But I'm gonna take the rest of this and throw it in its little folder, sleeve, whatever this is called, and throw this in my leftovers, and I can use it another year. So that covers pretty much everything. All of the stuff here is from that kit. I did not pull in any extras for this spread, just really used the kit to the fullest, which was great. The week was busy, a little chaotic for sure. Did also visit the zoo over the weekend and got to see the baby otters. They're starting to get big, but they were definitely very playful, which was great. Ran a few errands, stuff like that. But I think that's pretty much all I have for today. So as always, please like and subscribe below if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. Let me know what you had going on this week. Or if you don't have anything that you want to leave me some sort of self-care emoji just to let me know you were here, say hi, and I would love to just get all the good vibes in the comments section. And then follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Creative Life of Liz. You'll see in progress and finished spreads. I tag the shops on Instagram. I include them in addition to a description in my alt text on Blue Sky. I also show you bits and pieces of my life, what I'm reading, all that good stuff. And until next time, bye.